There's very few things as entertaining as watching either evolution computation or reinforcement learning teaching a simulated robot to walk. I maybe there's a higher level question that could be asked here, but do you find this whole space of applications in the robotics interesting for evolution computation?
Yeah, very much. And indeed, there are fascinating videos of that. And that's actually one of the examples where you can contrast the difference. So
between reinforcement learning
and evolution, yes. Yeah. So if you have a reinforcement learning agent, it tries to be conservative because it wants to walk as long as possible and be stable. But if you have evolutionary computation, it can afford these agents that go haywire. They fall flat on their face and they take a step and then they jump and then again fall flat.
Yeah.
And eventually what comes out of that is something like a falling that's controlled.
Yeah.
And you take another step and you no longer fall. Instead you run, you go fast. So that's a way of discovering something that's hard to discover step by step, incrementally. Yeah. Because you can afford these evolutionary dead ends, although they are not entirely dead ends in the sense that they can serve as stepping stones. When you take two of those, put them together, you get something that works even better. And that is a great example of this kind of discovery.
Yeah, learning to walk is fascinating. I talk quite a bit to Russ Tedrick, who's at MIT. There's a community of folks who just roboticists who love the elegance and beauty of movement,
right?
And walking bipedal robotics is beautiful, but also exceptionally dangerous in the sense that like you're constantly falling essentially if you want to do elegant movement. Mm-hmm. And the discovery of that is, I mean, it's such a good example of that the discovery of a good solution sometimes requires a leap of faith and patience and all those kinds of things. I wonder what other spaces we're yet to discover those kinds of things in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another interesting direction is learning for virtual creatures learning to walk. We did a study in simulation, obviously, that you create those creatures, not just their controller, but also their body. So you have cylinders, you have muscles, you have joints and sensors, and you're creating creatures that look quite different. Some of them have multiple legs. Some of them have no legs at all. And then the goal was to get them to move, to walk, to run. And what was interesting is that when you evolve the controller together with the body, you get movements that look natural because they're optimized for that physical setup.
Wow.
And these creatures, you start believing them, that they're alive because they walk in a way that you would expect somebody with that kind of a setup to walk.